called Madman. And before we get into the video, guys, bear in mind I am not in my home studio, so equipment isn't the best, audio might not sound good, so please bear with me whilst I'm away. However, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Really pushing it. We've got 1,000 subscribers, got a few giveaways loading up and some free drum kits that I'm making for you guys. So of course, stay tuned for that, but let's just jump into the video. So first things first, when it comes to Baby Drill, his beats usually range from 140 to 160 BPM, but I find a lot of his hits really come in the 150 BPM range. So that's what I did in the scale of C sharp minor, but we are using Purity for the first sound. And we have got ourselves a preset called Drone Pad from the Slow Synth Bank. And as we can see, the pattern's very simple. Starting off with the root note of C sharp, and then going into an E, and then dropping it down to the D sharp, making use of these two notes which are a half step apart, creating tension and that dark vibe. And of course, the pattern's very simple, but that's the whole point of Baby Drill, keeping it simple and dark. So without further ado, this is what the sound sounds like. And there we have it, giving it a nice little bit of high end and filling in that frequency range. As for effects, I got myself an instance of gross beat first of all, went onto like this little volume section and put it on quarter beat as we could see, and just took the volume down to 20%, giving it a nice little bit of movement. Then got an EQ, of course, cutting off a lot of the lows and ducking some highs. And last but not least, I really used a lot of Valhalla vintage reverb here, drowned it in reverb, and got a nice little sound. As for stereo separation, this was like around 47%, so it's a bit more than usual, but really liked it. And the next sound, of course, you got is the bell coming from my, very own drum kit, and it's the yeet bell, a common sound, but thought I'd just put it in there. And as we can see from the pattern, very simple, just following the root notes of the pads, giving it a nice little bounce. You can see, simple bounce I repeat every 2 bar, but just following the root notes. And this is what the bell sounds like alongside the pads. As for effects, on the bell we got ourselves an EQ cutting off all the lows, and that's a Valhalla vintage reverb again for a bit of reverb. And now last but not least, our final sound is coming from yet again Purity, because Purity is the GOAT, and we're using a preset called Pankarina, whatever that means, and it's from the Lead Synth Bank. And as we can see, it's a simple pattern that I've got repeating literally every 1 bar, copy and pasted it for the full 8, and it's that simple. Yet again, making use of these notes as we can see here, all a half step apart, giving it a dark vibe. And as we can see here, this note is pretty much the C sharp but a whole octave higher, so sometimes it's just about messing with the octave notes. And as for the effects, I've got myself yet again another EQ cutting off all the lows, and then again some more Valhalla vintage verb with this preset that I made. And now without further ado, this is what a full Baby Drill melody sounds like. And there we have it, guys. Now you may be thinking to yourself, the melody's a bit simple and the presets are all simple and the mix is simple, but at the end of the day, good sound selection with good repeating sounds is what you need for a Baby Drill beat, so don't let anyone tell you otherwise and just do what you gotta do. And now onto the drums, of course, and first thing being first is the snare pattern. As we can see, simple pattern, except I've just got this nice little extra snare here for a bit of bounce. And of course, it repeats itself every 2 bar, making a total of 8. And as for the hi-hat, very simple hi-hat pattern. But one thing I've noticed with Baby Drill is if you go onto this magnet tool here and go into half step, he typically uses the step rolls and the half step rolls, as you can see here. This being a step roll, this being a half step roll. And then I literally just copy and pasted this pattern. But the only difference actually comes from this note and this note. So in this pattern, I drop this note a pitch. In this pattern, I just dropped this note. So very simple hi-hat pattern, and then just copy and pasted this nice little 4 bar for a full 8. And without further ado, this is what the snare and the hi-hat sound like together. And there we have it. And as you can see, these sounds are sounding nice and crisp, of course, coming from yours truly's drum kit. And now we are onto the 808 and the kick pattern. But to break down the 808 pattern, very simple. The pattern just repeats itself every 2 bar, except it's following the root notes, of course. And one thing I'd really like to note, and it's something I like with Baby Drill beats, is this nice little 808 bounce that they got going. It's literally like a quarter beat next to a quarter beat hit. Sounds really dope every time I hear it in the Baby Drill song, and before I do it myself. And as we can see, it's just this nice little 4 bar that repeats for a full 8. And one thing I want to emphasize, of course, and I say this in every video, mark your velocities. The way I do this is I click Ctrl A to highlight all my notes. And using the scroller wheel on the mouse, I hold and I click it. And as you can see, at the very bottom of your screen, the velocities gets maxed out. And the reason I do this to my 808 and my kick is because it makes the 808 punchier, the kick punchier, and it sounds really good for artists when they hear your beats. As for the kick pattern, from what we can see here, it's essentially the 808 pattern, but just, in the format of a kick, kept in the same note of C. So without further ado, this is what the 808 and the kick sound like together. And there we have it, sounding super fire. And then last but not least, I got myself this nice little perk that comes in every 4 bar. From what we can see here, it's a nice little perk, a rim shot really. So without further ado, this is what a full beat for Baby Drill sounds like. And there we have it, folks. But before I wrap up this video, let me just walk you guys through the beat breakdown. So to keep it simple and straightforward, let's just look at the intro, which is this nice little 8 bar. Got my two pads playing, and then my essential drums coming in, which is the 808, the hi-hat, and the snare. And then we get straight into the chorus, which is 2 8 bars, making it a total of 16. And again, starting off with just the simple pad patterns and all the essential drums alongside the kick. Then for the second 8 bar, I introduced the bell, and then I introduced a nice little perk as well, pretty much having the full beat playing. And now looking into the verse section, from what we can see, I instantly start off with just 1 pad and all the essential drums playing. But then to step it up a notch, for the second 8 bar, I reintroduced the second pad and the bells alongside all the sounds previously played, which is kind of like the second 8 bar of the chorus. And then last but not least, we got ourselves the pre-hook, which is the final 8 bar, which is also known as the 8 bar, before the hook. Got myself this nice little pattern, just a hi-hat and the 808 to kind of give it like a little build up. Then introduce the nice lead pattern that I had going. Then I copy and paste the whole chorus again. Create this new verse with 3 different 8 bars. So, take a screenshot if you want, have a look at it and how I spaced it out. And then last but not least, a chorus yet again, and then reintroducing that nice lead pattern. So to summarize it all, 1 8 bar intro, 3 16 bar choruses, and 2 24 bar verses. And there, guys, is your full Baby Drill tutorial. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Of course, yours truly, JJ. Got a kid coming out soon. And guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace. JJ, wait!